If you're expecting Medicare to notify you about when it's time to sign up, well, don't hold your breath because it's totally up to you to figure out when to apply for Medicare. And as you may already know, it takes a lot of time and effort to learn about Medicare, and sometimes the smallest detail can be overlooked, such as when to apply for Medicare. But it's crucial to know this information so that you don't have a delay in coverage. And in today's video, I'm going to share with you the 3 Medicare enrollment periods so you know which one best suits your situation. Hi, Joanne Quinn, insurance professional and co-founder of REMEDIGAP.com. And if you're already subscribed to my channel, then thank you. And if this is your first visit here, then welcome and feel free to subscribe as well. You know, my goal is to always try and make Medicare and Medigap a little bit easier, one video at a time. So let's get started with the very first enrollment period. The most common time to enroll in Medicare is usually during the initial enrollment period. But this is a period of time that you have to decide whether or not you want Part A or Part A and Part B. Now, Part A is usually premium free because if you worked 10 years and you paid Medicare taxes, then you actually paid for Part A already, so it's noted as premium free. Most people will go ahead and sign up for Part A during their initial enrollment period. But when it comes to Part B, that is not premium free, and that is why you have to make a decision on whether or not you want to opt to apply for Part B. But there's usually factors that help dictate whether or not you want to apply for Part B. So let's take a look at some of those factors and see if they apply to your situation. All right, the first thing we're going to look at when determining Part B enrollment is whether or not you will keep your employer-sponsored group health plan. Now, if you or your spouse will continue working and you will maintain employer health coverage, then you can delay enrolling in Part B. And once that coverage ends or your employment ends, you can then enroll in Part B. And in most cases, you will not receive a penalty for enrolling late. Now, if you have an employer that has fewer than 20 employees and you are going to continue keeping their group health coverage, then you may have to sign up not just for Part A, but also Part B, because Medicare will be your primary insurance and the employer, the small employer insurance will be secondary. It's always a good idea, though, whether it's a large employer or a small employer, to meet with your benefits administrator to see how Medicare works with their group health coverage. And especially with a small employer, if you have to sign up for Part A and Part B, because once you sign up for Part B, you actually activate your one-time Medigap Open Enrollment Period. And I'm going to address the importance of that enrollment period at the end of this video, so make sure you stay to the end for those details. Okay, another question you might want to ask yourself when determining Part B enrollment is, are you going to join your former employee's retiree health plan? If your former employer offers retiree health coverage, then you may have to sign up for both Part A and Part B in order to receive full benefits from your retiree health plan. And as always, it's still a great idea to meet with that benefits administrator so that you know exactly how Medicare works with your retiree health plan. And another determining factor for enrolling in Part B is whether or not you are going to drop your current health coverage when you turn 65, whether it's employer coverage, coverage through COBRA, a plan you might have through the Affordable Care Act, or some other type of health plan. So if you will be dropping your healthcare coverage when you turn 65, then you definitely want to sign up for both Part A and Part B so you have complete health coverage. Part A being your hospital insurance and Part B your medical insurance. So once you know which parts of Medicare you want, then you can apply during your initial enrollment period, which is a 7-month window. It starts 3 months before your birthday month, includes your birthday month, and the 3 months after. Now, just because Medicare gives you this long window of opportunity to sign up doesn't mean you should wait until the 7th month to apply, especially if you want Medicare to begin the month you turn 65. And this is important because Medicare Part B is not retroactive. And it's also important to go ahead and apply when your initial enrollment period begins, just in case there is a glitch with your application. Unfortunately, it does happen from time to time, so you want to give yourself enough time to fix that application so you can have Medicare begin at your desired start date. So let's take a look at the initial enrollment period window, and we're going to use examples straight from Medicare. The first example is Mr. Green. He turned 65 in July, specifically July 20th. So it's saying if he signs up for Medicare in April, May, or June, his coverage will start on July 1st. So April, May, and June are the first 3 months in his initial enrollment period. Now the second example is for Mr. Kim, whose 65th birthday is on July 1st. Since his birthday is on the first day of the month, his coverage will actually start the first day of the prior month. So his initial enrollment period actually begins in March. So he has all of March, April, and May in his initial enrollment period to sign up for Medicare, so his coverage will start on June 1st. Now, if you choose to apply for Medicare during the month you turn 65 or during the last 3 months of your initial enrollment period, the start date for your Medicare coverage will be delayed, as you can see in this chart. And remember, Medicare won't retroactively start Part B. Okay, perhaps the initial enrollment period covered your situation, but there are still 2 more Medicare enrollment periods to touch on. And if you stay till the end of this video, you will also get tons of additional information about Medicare supplement and Part D drug plan enrollment opportunities. But first, let's touch on the special enrollment period. The special enrollment period is available to you if you lose your employer health coverage or you stop working. Remember, during the initial enrollment period, you probably would sign up for Part A because it's premium free. So this period of time is available for you to sign up for Part B. So once you lose that employer coverage or you stop working, you have 8 months to sign up for Part B during the special enrollment period. Now, something to keep in mind, if you have COBRA or a retiree health plan, you do not qualify for the special enrollment period because that type of coverage is not based on current employment. And I know that comes as a surprise, as it did to a gentleman I spoke to a while back who was losing retiree health coverage, which is happening way too often these days. But he just figured that he could sign up for Part B because he already had Part A. And the problem is that it was retiree coverage. It wasn't based on current employment, so he was not eligible for the special enrollment period. And he was way past his initial enrollment period, so he didn't qualify for that either. So the only thing left for him to do was enroll during the general enrollment period. Now you might be thinking, whew, that's a relief. At least he had an opportunity to sign up for Medicare. And you're absolutely correct. He did. However, the general enrollment period is only available from January 1st through March 31st every year. And when you sign up during that period of time, your Medicare doesn't actually begin until July 1st of that year. So if you miss your initial enrollment period and you don't qualify for a special enrollment period, then your only option is the general enrollment period, but it can leave you with a gap in coverage. So contact Social Security as soon as you know you want to apply for Medicare. Their website will give you the proper steps on how to apply for Medicare based on your situation, and I'll put the link to their website in the post below. And I'm really excited to share my bonus information with you today. It's kind of a bonus extravaganza. I have information about automatic Medicare enrollment, the Medigap Open Enrollment Period, and Part D drug plan enrollment opportunities. So let's take a look. Now, it's really easy to determine if you will be automatically enrolled in Medicare. If you're already receiving Social Security benefits, then Medicare will send you your Medicare card 3 months before your 65th birthday month, and it will include both Part A and Part B. Now, what if you don't want Part B? It's not a problem. Your card will come with some instructions on how to return it if you don't want Part B. And if you haven't received your card and you think you should be automatically enrolled, then definitely contact Social Security and see if they are expecting you to initiate an application. All right, let's move on to our second round of bonus information. Remember when we were talking during the initial enrollment period about how important it was to make your decision about whether or not to enroll in Medicare Part B. Well, that is because when you enroll in Part B, you actually initiate your one-time Medigap Open Enrollment Period. This is a one-time 6-month window where you can purchase a Medigap plan, which is also known as Medicare Supplement Insurance. But you can get that during the 6-month window, and it starts from your Part B effective date, without having to medically qualify for a plan. It's a really important window of opportunity because once it's gone and you can't get it back. Now, I know that it seems odd that I'm saying you would have to medically qualify, but yes, after that Medigap Open Enrollment Period ends, then you do have to, in most cases and in most states, medically qualify for a Medigap plan. It does seem odd because we are now used to the fact that with the Affordable Care Act, pre-existing conditions aren't taken into consideration, but keep in mind that Medigap, Medicare Supplement Insurance, does not abide by the same regulations. And I also want to briefly touch on those retiree health plans because we did talk about it a little bit. And if you have a retiree health plan and you lose that coverage, then more than likely you have already signed up for Part B because, like we said before, in order to get your full retirement benefit, your former employer would probably want you to have Part A and Part B. But because you sign up for Part B, you initiate that Medigap Open Enrollment Period already, so you are not going to get it back. And if you lose your retiree health coverage, you won't have a Medigap Open Enrollment Period, so you will have to medically qualify for Medicare Supplement Insurance or use your guaranteed issue right if it's available to you. All right, so now let's move on to Part 3 and the last part of my bonus extravaganza, which is about Part D drug plan enrollment opportunities. And this is always a very popular topic, Part D drug plans. So you do have a few more options when it comes to this compared to Medigap. And what's good is that you do not have to medically qualify for a Part D plan. But you can enroll in a Part D plan during your initial enrollment period, during your special enrollment period, and every year during the annual election period, which occurs between October 15th and December 7th. Now, when you get a plan, a drug plan during the annual election period, which by the way is also called the Medicare Open Enrollment Period, they go hand in hand, but you'll hear both. But between October 15th and December 7th every year, you can buy a plan, and then it starts January 1st of the following year. So those are your opportunities to buy a Part D plan, and again, you do not have to medically qualify, which is nice. Well, that was a lot of information to take in and a lot to deliver, so that's also why I created my free Medicare e-course, where you can continue learning about Medicare, the enrollment penalties, enrollment deadlines, Medicare Advantage plans versus Medicare Supplement Insurance, and more. It's one email a day over the course of a week, so you can learn on your schedule. All you have to do is just click on any of the links in this post to sign up. And if you found this video helpful, please like it, share it, subscribe so you don't miss any of my other videos. And if you have any more questions about enrollment, please feel free to leave a comment below or reach out to me directly. You can reach me by phone or email and find all my contact information also in this post. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time. Bye-bye. Okay. And I forgot. Yeah. Then you need to look at the camera.